Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel once again. I think this is my fourth time doing a live on here. Hopefully, I've got the bugs worked out, but we'll have to wait and see. First and foremost, thank you to everybody who's in here. I see everyone in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have not subscribed yet, if you guys could hit the subscribe button if you like true crime, pop culture, all of that stuff is my jam. I love chatting with the chat, so I definitely will be coming to visit you guys in a little bit. I want to run through a bit of a recap today. So I came across on Law and Crime Network. They have the full video of when Ruby Franke's two kids were located. It was the day that she was arrested, and both girls were located at the President of Connections home called Pam Bodger. We are going to watch the full video and do a rundown of it this evening. And then I'm going to come to your questions and comments and see what you guys think. I'll give you my take, and hopefully you guys can give me yours as well. All right, let's get into it. Let me see if I can figure everything out. So I think I will do full video. This way it's too small. I want to be able to show you guys completely what we're looking at. So just to set this up. So when this took place, it was on August 30th, the day that her 12-year-old escaped from Jody Hildebrand's home. The police in the town where Pam Bodger lived did not have details at all. They just got a phone call from the police where Jody Hildebrand lived and Ruby Franke lived saying, go to this address, detain Pam Bodger, and make sure the kids are there. And they didn't even realize two of the daughters were there. They thought at the time only one daughter was there. So some of the information that we're going to hear as we go through is not correct because the police didn't have the correct information at that time, but we'll talk through it as we go. So this is Pam Bodger's husband, first of all. He is the person that opened the door originally, and then we get to meet Pam Bodger. Pay attention to a couple things through this. The first thing that is kind of a big deal is that when the police arrived at Pam Bodger's house, I don't feel she was truthful, I guess I'll say, or maybe I'll just say, I don't feel that she shared all the information at first. I want you to pay attention because at first, what she tells the police is that the girls are at her home because she had company coming and she needed them to clean. As she realizes how much trouble she possibly could be in and what's happening with the kids, she gives the full story saying that Ruby Franke called her saying it was an emergency and she had to go to town. So pay attention to that. The second thing to pay attention to is as we get into the video, the DCFS worker talks to Pam about how she knows the Frankies, how she knows Ruby Franke, and she really downplays it. I want you to really watch how she talks about Connections. She doesn't even mention that she's the president of Connections, yet on the website, she's right there, classified as the president of Connections. Anyway, pay attention to that as well. But let's get started. We will talk through it, and I will pause as we get to important parts as we go. All right, so let me know if there's any, oh, you know what? I already know there's going to be a volume issue because I did not hear it share when I got on here. So hold on, I'm going to redo the stop. Redo the sharing to make sure you guys have volume. All right, so let's do entire screen. Again, fourth time doing a live. I knew something would come up. There we go. Share audio. We got it. All right, I'm going to hit play, guys. So again, this is from Law and Crime. The first people that got this footage was KUTV News. They are all over this case. Of course, they're in Utah, and they're very familiar with what's going on in here. They are the first ones that received the video, but when they posted it, they watermarked it with their Channel 2 logo, so it's kind of hard to see. And they also cut it up and just posted kind of segments of it. So this piece that Law and Order took, it does not have a big watermark on it. It just has their logo, as you can see down here in the corner. And I believe it's the full extent of the video. So let's get into it.
Sir Hawkins, sir, I'm looking for a Pam. Pam incident? Is your wife? She's here. Hi.
So again,
Pam,
this is
how
her
are you doing?
husband.
I'm Officer Hawkins, American Fork Police Department.
Hi.
So we had a agency assist out of St. George in Springville that we're just looking. Okay. When you picked her up, what was the case? Did somebody ask you to pick her up, or did you just pick her up? What was going on?
Well, I'm having guests coming and she came and did some cleaning for me.
Some cleaning for you? Is she-
You work right now in the house.
Living room right here.
Okay, great.
I'm just going to pause it for a sec. When you hear it cut out, it's because the police had to obviously redact the video. So anytime names are said, the 12-year-old or sorry, the 14-year-old or 16-year-old names, or even any of the other children's names are said, they bleep it out. That's why you hear kind of dead air. And he's just asked, do you have, and he's only said the oldest daughter's name so far. So she said, yeah, she's here. And they're not mentioning the younger daughter yet at all.
We're gonna have both of you come out here then.
If you can, just for a second, we just have to go over some stuff.
You have a warrant?
Yeah, we do.
Let me see it, please.
So it's in my car, but right now my concern is
Will you just tell them you're all right?
Well, we
Yeah.
have to physically see her.
Into that doorway.
We'll go ahead and get the copy of the warrant for you, okay?
You have a warrant for my house?
specifically for you.
Yeah, for you and the child.
Yeah.
So there she is.
Okay. So
What is going on?
as of right now, I'll just need you to give your phone to your husband.
Okay.
Okay. And as of this moment, you're going to be detained right now. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
So
So
what
is
does
there
that mean?
is there anything on you?
no.
Okay, perfect. Just put your hands in front of you. Okay. Just going to place you temporarily under
Wait,
arrest. Okay.
wait.
I'll
What are you
explain to
doing?
you that I'll explain
What
to
are you guys doing?
I've explained this already. I'm being as courteous as I can.
Okay, well, I'm gonna call an attorney.
That's fine.
I don't know what's.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is all about.
Okay. So I'm gonna
My
explain
wife
to you when
in
we get to the
handcuffs,
council.
I mean-
Yes. I just explained to you that you're being detained right now.
Okay. Just a sec. I'm going to make my screen bigger so I can chat with you guys for 2 seconds. So this is the older of the two middle girls that we see in the picture. I'm not going to name names just because they are minors. She's in the home, and so far the police only know that she's there. That's the phone call they got, and that's the only person they asked about. And Pam didn't volunteer that the 14-year-old was also here. So they said, we have to lay eyes on her. She comes down the hall, and of course they do lay eyes on her. And if you notice right now in this scene, she's actually whispering to Pam's husband. I don't find that she looks nervous or scared. I feel like, I hate to say it, but this is old news for the Franke kids. As you know, the police have been at their home at least 15 times in the last 4 years or 3 years even. It's like second nature for them dealing with police, it seems. So for this to happen, I don't think it was a big deal for her. I think she was just like, here we go again. However, I am seeing a lot of news channels right now covering what's happening right now in this scene. So as you heard, they have a warrant to detain Pam Bodger. However, the big complaint right now is when they put the handcuffs on her, they didn't read her Miranda rights, and apparently they were supposed to. So I don't know if something's going to come from this or not, or if Pam's looking into it, but that's kind of all over media right now, is that they apparently did not do it the correct way. We'll have to wait and see. Time will tell. All right, let's keep going. So we now have the 16-year-old in view, and they're going to be removing Pam from the house.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you to my car. Okay. I need this officer to stay with your husband, and I'm gonna explain everything to you when we get
Okay.
there. Okay. So are you familiar with any officers in Springville?
No,
Okay.
I don't
Are you?
know.
Do you have siblings or kids in St. George?
Well, I have a married daughter.
Okay.
So this is one of the parts that's incorrect. He's going to start talking to her about her own kids because he doesn't know right now that it's the Franke family that he's looking into. He thinks it's her children, her daughter.
What's her name?
Stacy?
Do you know of any issues that they just went through today?
No, do you?
Yes, I do. So that's why I'm trying to figure out. So we were requested by St. George and Springville Police to make contact here, the residents here, than to detain you currently until questions are answered. Okay.
What kind of questions?
So I'm gonna call the main officers from Springville, and that's where I'm gonna tell them that I have you detained, and he can question you from now. Does that make sense? So now you know pretty much as I do. Okay. So I'm gonna call him, and we're just gonna go from there. Okay. I'm going off what you're saying. I'm going off what they're saying. I don't know what's the truth. I know that she's here. I don't know if she came willingly or not.
Can't you ask her?
That's what we're about to do.
Okay.
But as of right now, that's why I separated you, because I want the truth. I don't want coercion. I don't want her being felt like she has
That's
to say
great,
stuff.
yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in there. We're gonna drive back to the front so you can hang out right in front of your house.
Thank
Okay?
Public safety.
How's it going? This all?
Okay, I'm going to pause it again here, guys. So this part I did not post on my page. So I don't know if everyone has heard this or not. This is the phone call that the police officer makes to his sergeant or whoever he's speaking to, where he gets more of the information about what the story actually is and what's been happening. So this kind of clarifies things for him a bit, where before he was thinking that it was her children, her family. Now he kind of gets the run through of what exactly has been happening at Jody Hildebrand's house with the other two children.
I'm walking with that before this part. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
Good. So I just want to get some 5Ws on this case I had. So I made contact. I have Cam in the backseat of my car detained in the house.
In the house?
Yep.
Okay, we've got a unit that's going to be heading over. Let me find out who it is. Okay?
Yeah. Her parents were in the situation of a child abuse allegation.
Okay,
DCFS made the report and went to the house and found children malnourished and locked in a safe.
in the safe?
In a safe.
Okay, again, that is not accurate information. So as you guys know, when this first came out, the safe room in Jody Hildebrand's house was everywhere. Everyone was saying that there was a safe room. This is where the kids were. That was false information. What ended up happening was, yes, there was a safe room in the home of Jody Hildebrand's house, and it was locked. And the police had to get a warrant to search the room. And when it went through channels, it came out sounding like the kids had been in that. They were not in that. They were actually detained and restrained on the floor in another area of the home. And when they finally got into the safe room, apparently there was no one or nothing of interest in that room, apparently. So that's kind of one of the things you have to watch for. The other thing is, in a minute, you're going to hear him say something about Ruby and Kevin being arrested. That was false information. It was given to the officer that it was the parents that were arrested when actually it was Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrand.
Okay. So now those officers and DCFS have to custody those children, and we're looking for this one. The rec center, when they went to go find her, said that you picked her up.
Yeah, I
So
did.
now they are trying to figure out
Why I picked her
why
up?
you picked her up, what you know with her. Is she okay? Did she come here willingly? All that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, they
so
can
as
ask
soon
her
as they
that.
come here,
Yeah,
we'll be on our way.
okay,
Okay, that's why I said you're just detained. You're not placed under arrest just right now until they figure out what's going on with their part. Okay?
okay.
So as long as she's not tied up and bound because you
I did make her
do
scrub
something,
I did make her scrub the floor, and they vacuumed and stuff because I have company coming tonight from Costa Rica.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause it again. This is one of the huge issues I have with this woman. Why is she making Ruby Franke's children clean her home? She actually says a few times as well that she knows the kids well because they often come and help her clean. She has something like 7 kids or something of her own. I don't understand why people in her own family aren't helping her clean. I just hope that she's been paying the girls and that they're doing it because they like to do it. Anyway, this is kind of the theme throughout her whole conversation is that she got the girls to clean her home. So just a heads up.
So, but she did it of her own free will. We had lunch.
Yeah.
We went to Rolly's farm and had ice cream.
Those children are, I don't know the full details of how mistreated or how malnourished those children are.
Okay.
All I know is that's the words and treatment that they used,
Yeah.
which means that they are severely concerned of her well-being
Okay.
and every child that's in that home.
Okay. So they'll just have to talk to her and
Because I've been a part of many DCFS cases where as soon as the parents are hooked up, kids are taken. If there's any kids that aren't in the home immediately when the kids are taken, guess what? They're scurrying around. Other family members are picking them up that way. The parent can come back and grab them before DCFS takes them.
oh yeah.
I'm telling you, you may be a good person, but there's a lot of people in this world that aren't.
Right. Well, if DCFS is supposed to take her, then they can take her. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not going to try to fight that. I mean, you
Well,
know,
that's what they're going to come talk to you about. They left already, so they should be here in the next 10, 15 minutes. But Springville
Springville.
just left as I got off the phone with him. So
So
he's probably going to be about 20.
DCFS or whatever it is coming.
Yeah, so DCFS will come for their part. And then the detective
So they're just
Munford
going
is
to ask
coming
her
to
if
talk
she
to you.
came willingly to my house and
And
if
I
everything
think-
is okay.
And she has to be taken into state custody.
Oh, she.
Pausing it again. Sorry, guys. The other thing that I want to point out right now is a couple things. So the first, do you guys find that she doesn't really care and is not asking about the other 2 children? Not once has she said, like, are they okay? Oh my God, that's terrible. Like, nothing. All she keeps saying is like, well, you can take them. Like, and she's only saying her. This whole time so far, she has not mentioned the 14-year-old daughter at all. It's only the 16-year-old. And she knows from this conversation that they don't know the 14-year-old is there, and she's not given that information yet. She does eventually come out and say, like, how come they don't want the 14-year-old, like all nonchalant? But not once has she commented or asked if the two children are okay or commented on how awful that is. I just find that really weird. If that was a friend of mine and the police come and say, like, yeah, two of her kids were bound and malnourished, and you'd be like freaking out. Like, are they okay? What's happened? Anyway, carrying on. Hold on.
Yes. Okay,
Because I think her parents were arrested.
okay. So, I'm just wondering, why they don't want,
So there it is. She finally just said it. That's how she brings up that she has the other daughter. I'm just wondering why they don't want, and they bleep out the name. Like, that's how she brings it up. And it's how many minutes into this? Like 7 minutes since they put her in handcuffs. And I mean, this is just the taped part we've got. It was much longer because they cut out pieces. So she's finally bringing it up.
Maybe they are
no, I have her. She's in my house.
here.
Yeah.
I didn't get told. When you're asking that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go brief your husband so he's not worried about you. So her parents today.
Okay. So what's happening right now is the husband, of course, was freaking out. He's calling his attorney and things like that because his wife's just been put in handcuffs. So the officer, after explaining everything to Pam, comes over and explains now to Pam's husband. So you'll see his reaction. It's a little bit different, but I find it's still all about them. Like somebody just said in the comment, I saw them saying like, it's all about her.
Under investigation for child abuse found in the DCFS went to the home with Springfield Police Department and found children in the basement, malnourished and locked in safe. Today. Yeah. Now,
Children out.
DCFS tried finding all the kids that were involved, and one of them was. I don't know where she's at. And calls the rec center. The rec center says that Pam get correctly. Unknown if she went willingly or forced. I'm not saying Pam forced her. I already told her that. So we don't know. But what DCFS wants to do is they have a warrant to pick her up and take her into state custody, bring her for arrested. Now,
Her parents were arrested.
it's, so that's why
His mom was on her way to St. George.
that was the whole thing. It happened in St. George, came up to Springfield got involved, and it's traced all its way back to us somehow. I don't know how you guys are involved, you and Pam.
Pam's her friend, Ruby's.
I'm gonna pause it for a sec, guys. So when he's saying Ruby was on her way to St. George, so we don't know where Ruby was at the time that the 12-year-old escaped from the home, because as you know from the 911 call, Jody Hildebrand was at the home, but Ruby was not. So when they got the phone call, she was saying, there's been an emergency. I'm on my way to St. George. That's Jody Hildebrand's area. So she was on her way back from wherever she was and heading to see what was going on. So she was not at Jody Hildebrand's home when the search took place.
Friend. Her husband, Kevin, or somebody, I've met him a couple times. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so Pam, since her mom was on the way to this, so
Yeah.
since her mom was on the way to St. George. When Pam said, I'll pick up the girls and I need some help in a cat. And so she said, Ruby said, we can come over and help. And so they've been helping clean. We have guests coming from Costa Rica tonight.
So Pam said,
And, you know, they just help clean, they clean floors and cleaned all kinds of stuff. I don't know. But
Doing all the
so
housework.
that's the reason we're involved with this right now, is because Pam went over and Ruby knew that she was coming after her and getting rid of those, and she got the goods.
so I told Pam as much as I knew from Springfield, how much as I knew from St. George. That was what I was informed to. I'm here, locate Pam inside the residence to attain and hold on to Pam until Springfield DCFS get her. I don't exactly know what detectives want with you guys, but detectives want to talk to Pam. DCFS wants to pick up. I know you guys are probably good people, but there's a lot of people out there that aren't. Okay, so she gone through our game. And then you went and picked up both of them. Were they both in Springville? Or were
Okay, tried to pause it, but my cat's up here, so I had to move the cat. If you're just joining, PJ and Perry often make appearances in my videos. They are my two ginger cats. So he just explained to Pam Bodger's husband kind of what went down. Interesting to point out when he explains how they know Ruby Franke, he says, yeah, the husband, I think it's like, Kevin or something like that. I don't even know. Only met him a few times. Like, as if you don't know what his name is. Your wife is the president of Connections, and Ruby's doing all the podcasts. And so did her husband, Kevin. Anyhow, that I don't buy at all.
that age, but what age were they at?
I don't know, I can give you the address, but I remember it's somewhere like south.
Spanish Fork?
Yeah, I mean, no, not Spanish Fork.
It's-
It's past Spanish Fork.
Santa Quinn?
We went to the Rollies barn right after I picked her up.
Okay, it's probably Santa Quinn. That's Santa Quinn. Okay. It's an E5 type area?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That she's at the Ace. And did you call both the girls and say, hey, your mom told me to come get you?
No,
Okay, how did you contact them or they were at?
I just went to the pool and said, hey, they have a family emergency. Can I pick up? She said, sure. So I said, family emergency. Your mom said, you could come help me clean today. She said, okay.
And how did you get caught? Pick her up.
She, Ruby just told me she'd be at the Ace Hardware.
Oh, okay, so Ruby told you were good pulled.
Okay, so one of the daughters, as you just heard, was at the pool. The other daughter was working at the hardware store. She picked up both girls and said there was a family emergency. This is where, I have to take them. And their bosses, of course, said no problem.
So they've been here all day. We
They've
went to Rolly's farm and got Rolly's Red Barn and got ice cream at the Red Barn. And then we came here and we scrubbed the floors and vacuumed and made lunch at BLT's, and we're gonna go pick tomatoes and make salsa tonight.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we were doing.
Okay, so point and stuff again here. When this all started at the beginning, she told the police officer, I've got her here because she was helping me clean my house because I have guests coming over tonight. A little while into her being in the backseat of the car, she says that again. She says, I have guests coming, and I believe she said from Costa Rica. Now she's saying, oh, we did mopping and vacuuming and all this housework and stuff, and then we're going to make salsa tonight. So when are these guests coming, and why is your story kind of changing now? Like, I just find it really odd. Like, I feel like when Ruby called her, Ruby told her more information than she's letting on, and she kind of knew to downplay this with the police until now she's realizing she may be in trouble, so she's now adding more to the story.
Tonight.
So just to make sure I'm understanding all this quickly, Ruby contacted you around noon and said that they had.
Yeah, around, I don't know if that's exact.
That's
Yeah.
the best guess.
Said she had a family emergency.
And need you to pick
There
up
it
the
is.
girls.
Yeah, she said, would you mind watching the girls while I'm gone? Because she was leaving. I said, yeah, I could do that because I need some help cleaning.
Okay, and then did you say to bring them to your house for today and then take it back home tonight, or to keep them here for a couple days?
She didn't say. I was just planning on bringing them home tonight.
Oh, okay. And she also.
That's the DCFS worker in the background.
Right there. And did you pick up first then? And then you went. Okay.
And they've been here, besides going to that Rolly's Red Barn, they've been here the whole time.
And you have to clean them in.
Yeah,
Eat.
go smell my house. It smells great. Yeah, we had lunch. We just finished cleaning, and I said, okay, what do you guys want to do now? I said, gotta go pick the tomatoes once it gets cool, and then we'll learn. They wanted to learn how to make salsa. So I said, okay, you can do that. I said, let's just take a break for a minute. And that's when, pounding on the door, we opened the door right up. He said, ask for me. I came right out.
Yeah.
And then you asked, I was like, come out here. And then, like I said, I told him, what He said, well, we're not concerned. I said, well, okay, well, she's in the house. And then I don't know what you did. You went to the house and asked
Yeah.
for the person.
That was because the information was solely getting trickled with him. I don't think he knew about
Initial CAD notes just said, okay, look out, so
Yeah. So that's what happened. That's when we've been at home cleaning this whole time and dusting and just, and then we were gonna pick tomatoes and make salsa and then take them home.
Just, a wholesome afternoon of making someone else's children clean your home and then make salsa for you. I just saw a comment and I just wanted to comment on it. So it was Dana. Hold on. Let me get Dana's on here. There it is. Dana just said, laughing, making jokes after learning her friend abused her kids. Dana, I 100% agree. That's exactly what I got with the vibe with this. She does not seem like a worried friend who just found out her friend's children are in danger, like they were being restrained and malnourished. She was just told that by the police and she's acting all nonchalant, like, yeah, we just cleaned my house. Go smell it. It smells great. We're going to make salsa. Like, I don't understand how any of this is playing out if she didn't know what was going on.
this is
Okay, so this is the DCFS worker now coming to question her.
I don't know exactly.
She asked Rudy asked her to take calls. And gave them the locations of where they both would be at. It just said, hey, we have an emergency downstairs who wants the rolls. And she said, okay, let's see the guy about that. Make them back here. And they've been pleading.
I just have house guests coming tonight, so I said, yeah, that'd be great. Could they come
There's a
clean?
house
She said,
guest
yeah,
again.
they'd love to do that. So,
So
and then we went to Rolly's Red Barn, got ice cream on what, because they'd never been there before. What? Yep, been to Rolly's Red Barn. Have you guys been to Rolly's Red Barn? Yeah. So we were there and got ice cream and they bought some things and then we came straight here. Where did you have lunch? What? Where did you pick them up from? The Springville swimming pool. Oh, I think you guys went down to say.
well,
No, I said his hardware.
We're at
it's sad.
does she work there or what was she doing there?
I don't know. She just said,
Oh,
Ruby just said she'll be at.
something for Mary.
Okay, so we picked up and I was the Rolly's Red Barn. So let's stop here.
Gotcha.
Came home. I said, okay, you guys, can you clean the downstairs and I'll start back cleaning upstairs and work for like, I don't know, 4 hours. And then, oh no, we had lunch first. And then we did the cleaning. And then we were just sitting down. We just finished cleaning. We were just sitting down when we got the knock on the door. And I came right out and got, just did whatever he told me to do.
They were cooperative.
Okay, questions for
Wow.
I agree, Sherry.
I really think of them. Well, have you ever had anything like this happen? Where you picked up the
No.
girls?
Oh, like,
Like, hey, we need you to watch the girls.
no, everything else has been so like they wanted to learn how to make jam, and so they had a whole bunch of strawberries and raspberries. So I went down there, things like that. But so I have interacted with them, and we've done stuff, but it's usually to make jam or learn how to sew or do something, or like if someone has a play or something, we go to see it or something, but not, they have come to my house before and done also weeding and stuff like that.
All right, we got to pause it again. Okay, so this is the DCFS worker asking her if a situation like this has happened before. And the first thing that she says is, well, not really. Then she gets detailing some things. And as you know, the more someone talks, the more they open up. So she does share that if there was a play or something, she would go. So I know myself that I don't go to plays of just acquaintances' children, but I do go to plays or concerts that my good friends' children are doing. So I think that tells us quite a bit about how close she is with Ruby Franke if she's going to the kids' plays or whatever she's trying to say. And then she adds in there, like, they've been here before, like weeding and stuff. Like, what is with weeding? So if you follow the case at all, one of the neighbors of Jody Hildebrand commented about weeding. She said that it was like, I don't know, in the 3 digits of heat around Jody Hildebrand's neighborhood. and she was out weeding her lawn and saw that the kids at Jody Hildebrand's, Ruby Frankie's kids, were out weeding as well. And she said got so hot she had to go in, and the kids had to stay out until they were done. So I think it's just one of the many chores that they had to do, whether it was punishment or a weekly thing, but they apparently had to do it at Pam Bodger's house as well.
How did you start to know the family casualties?
The Frankie family?
Yeah.
Through a program called Connections. So kind of a life skills type thing.
Okay. So tell me more about like when you first let them through the program, or not really know what the program is.
She was a coach.
She's a okay. What type of things do they do with the program?
It's like life skills. It's like learning how to, it's like be honest, responsible, and humble. Those are those 3 pillars of their program.
We hear it so often.
Is there like a meeting place for you met, or is it kind of a
No, it's online every Saturday morning. It's called Empowering Joy.
How long have you known them for?
Oh, geez.
Ish.
Probably, oh, gee, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I didn't know her really well because she was in the program, but I didn't really know her. But I've known her probably really well, maybe 3 years.
Okay, I got to pause it again. This is one of the things I said at the beginning to pay attention to. This is her telling the DCFS worker about connections and how she knows Ruby Frankie. Pam Bodger is listed on the website as the president of Connections, and she's acting all nonchalant here, like she doesn't know. Oh, it's, this kind of life coaching group. Yeah, we meet online on Saturdays. Like, she's not saying like, I'm the president, this is how it's run. Like, she knows a lot more than she's letting on. The whole thing just seems a little bit sketch.
It's like a program that she started, or is it just one that she kind of?
She's just a part of it.
Any other questions? Okay.
Well, call me if you want
We
any
appreciate you cooperating with us.
information.
Yeah, just so, and like they explained before, the whole handcuffs and everything is just because we don't know really what's going on. We don't know who you are, and so.
Okay, so this is, let me just get my screen bigger here. This is, if it's the same as the other video, it's when they've got the 2 girls. As you know, these 2 girls had a choice, apparently, to either go into foster care with DCFS or to go with their older sister, Sherry Frankie. And they didn't want to leave Pam Bodgers. And I think there's a couple reasons for that. And maybe you guys will agree as well. I feel like because Sherry was kind of withdrawn from her family for the last year, was having nothing to do with her mom and dad, I feel like she would have had some distance from her sisters. And I don't feel like the parents would have been talking very, very highly of Sherry and her lifestyle. So they probably were worried about going with Sherry and what their mother would think. The second thing is if you watch any of the 8-passenger, even connection videos, those 2 middle girls always seem just to toe the line. They wanted to do whatever their mother and father said. They wanted to please everyone. They never wanted to cause any trouble or stir up anything. So I feel like if they knew their mother had contacted Pam Bodger and said, I want you to go get the girls, I feel like they would have wanted to stay. They would have thought, this is what mom wants and we should stay. Anyway, let's carry on. So here's the 2 girls getting into the car.
Oh, thank you. That makes it so much. We're in fact need to watch next.
So I don't think I've seen this part of the footage before, actually seeing the kids, other than sitting on the porch.
Yeah, good job with me. How many of us are eating?
Oh, they're getting their bags searched. Oh, that's a sin. Oh. So she's talking, so it's all redacted because she's a minor. They wouldn't want it played. And I think that is pretty much the end of the footage. If you wanted to watch the complete footage without my commentary, it's on Law and Crime Trial Network. You guys can go check it out yourselves. I am going to pull this down and I'm coming to you guys. I want to see what you guys had to say. If you're just joining, I would love it if you guys hit subscribe. I talk about kind of pop culture, whatever's in the news, true crime stuff. It's kind of my jam. So I missed some of your comments, guys, but I saw some really good ones as we were going on here. Were the only two places the kids were at Jody's and here. Yeah, Jaden. So the two younger children, one was still inside Jody's home and the other's the one that had escaped, the 12-year-old. But the 14 and 16-year-old were both at Pam Bodger's home. One had been at a pool that day. I don't know if she was working or just there swimming. And the older daughter was at a hardware store working, and Pam went and picked both up. When do we learn their sentence? Oh, Hannah, excellent question. Guys, they are currently sitting in jail right now, and we have no idea when the court date is. I check literally every morning trying to figure out when their next court date is scheduled, and it is not anywhere to be found. Basically, they don't get bail or bond until that next trial date, and there is not a whisper of when that's happening. They won't be sentenced or anything like that until the full trial has played out. So this could be a long time coming. Oh, hi, Sarah. Welcome. Coming from TikTok. I hope you subscribed, Vic. Thanks for joining. Guys, thanks for everyone who's been in here watching. Where can we watch this? So this is on the Law and Crime Trial Network, the full video without the big watermark in it, if you want to go check it out. However, if you've missed my whole recap here that we just did, this will be on my YouTube channel under the live video section if you want to come check it out after. The LDS Church has put out a public statement through a spokesperson that they don't investigate the therapist they recommend. They say that is the job of the members and clients seeing the therapist. I would believe that, Lise. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but that wouldn't surprise me at all. Jody was involved with LDS leadership. She was apparently, and she actually almost lost her license at one point for going to the heads of the church and revealing really personal, private information about one of her clients. He's very outspoken about it. He's been on the Mormon Stories channel as well. And basically, he lost his job and was banned from the church because of what she told them. What two girls being found? Do you know their names? Yes, Lacey. We're not giving names as much anymore just because the kids are minors. Everyone knows their names, but we're just kind of saying it by age just to give them a little bit more respect and privacy. So they have 6 children, as you know. So Sherry is 20. She's living out on her own. Chad is 18. Chad, I believe, is going to BYU right now, the university. Just based on some photos that have come up that I've seen lately of him, I think that's where he is, but we don't know that for sure. He's 18. And then the 2 middle girls who we saw in the video, I'll just pop it back up here so you guys can see who I'm talking about. This is, I believe, the 14-year-old, and I think the 16-year-old got in the back. These 2 are the middle girls that they found at Pam Bodger's home. And then the 2 youngest were 10 and 12. And the 12-year-old is the son who escaped and went to the neighbor's home. And the 10-year-old was still tied up and restrained when they found her. Chad still being LDS is sad. We don't know the whole situation with Chad. I mean, I'm assuming if he's going to BYU, he is. But it's not that the LDS church is evil. It's these fanatics that kind of take it to this whole other level that just tarnish and taint everything, right? Like it's awful. I think, oh yes, there's his name. Cat Lady just said Adam Steed. She got her license suspended until she met the required conditions. So Adam Steed is the gentleman who reported Jody Hildebrand a few years back for basically breaking his privacy. And he is the reason that her license was suspended briefly. To make sure the girls didn't have any weapons in their stuff. Yes, that's why their bags were being searched, because they were going to be in custody with DCFS workers, so they have to, protect everyone involved just in case. Oh, hi, Miranda. Thank you for joining. Miranda, this video will be posted on my YouTube channel under the live section, so you can watch it again. And everyone who's in, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, that would be fantastic. Come here and subscribe. Thanks. Love is free. Guys, thank you so much to everyone who joined tonight. I've been waiting quite a while for a new video to come out without the big watermark on it so that we could do a walkthrough of it. So finally, Law and Crime has posted that, and we got to do a full kind of chat and breakdown of the whole video and what exactly was going on with Pam Bodger. Personally, my opinion, I think it was sketchy. I feel like Pam probably knew more than she was letting on. It seems that at the beginning, she was very nonchalant and not giving much, only talking about the one daughter, saying things like, oh, I have got guests coming over, so they came to clean. And then once she realized how bad the situation was, it seems that's when she started coming out with more of the information. Yeah, I love this one. I feel like Pam didn't know what to say and she was word vomiting. Sarah, that may have been that. And maybe she was just so overwhelmed that she had handcuffs on her that everything was just bleh. But it just seemed really odd to me. And I don't know Pam, obviously. So, I mean, maybe she just doesn't handle stress well and maybe it came out this way. I don't know. Where are the two little kids at the moment? That's the big question, Ava. We don't know much right now at all. We know that there was another custody hearing. If you guys didn't see the custody hearing, the last one, Chad and Sherry Franke actually arrived with their father, Kevin Franke, if you can imagine. Kind of shocked me, but yes, they did. And we don't know if any of the children have been moved, but up until that point, both of the youngest children were in custody with DCFS and foster care. I have heard from a couple sources that the two middle girls who were with Sherry Franke are also now in foster care because Sherry's home supposedly was just a temporary solution. And now they're in temporary care in a foster home that could be more long term until they figure out the custody arrangements. But I have not been able to verify that information. It's just come from a couple sources who shared that information with me. Yeah. Are you from Utah or just like true crime? Definitely just like true crime. I'm actually in New Brunswick, Canada on the East Coast. You can probably tell from some of the things I say that I'm from the East Coast. But no, not in Utah. I just love to follow true crime and news stuff. She definitely knows what was really going on and didn't seem to care. Tony, that's the vibe that I got as well. I feel like she was just way too chill, learning that her friend had basically held her children hostage and they were malnourished. Like she just didn't react the way you would expect someone to kind of react when they're given that information. It just seemed odd. All right, guys, thank you so very much to everyone who came over to YouTube and checked this out tonight. Please, again, hit subscribe. I'm definitely going to try and post a bit more than I have been. And I love coming on with you guys and chatting. So thank you so very much. Oh, I got to give a shout out. Duty Ron is here. Hi, Ron. Guys, this is my YouTube mentor, Duty Ron. If you do not follow Ron, you need to go add him. Ron is a retired police officer from New York. He gives an amazing perspective on all of these cases from the police point of view and breaks down the cases really well. So definitely go give Duty Ron a follow. I will check you guys out hopefully tomorrow. And again, hit subscribe and follow if you have not. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining.